Our city, our year. Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Fuel prices got you down? Subaru's here to pick you up. Subaru's electric and hybrid vehicles will save the day, helping you go further for less. Prefer a gas vehicle? Subaru Crosstrek and Impreza are built to keep costs low without sacrificing capability. Crosstrek was named 2025 Auto Trader Best Subcompact SUV, and Impreza has earned top safety pick recognition for 17 years running. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Visit Subaru.ca.
You haven't set your lineup yet, right? It's Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:02. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Go check them out. Leduc, online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Got a great day of sports ahead of you, and the weather, uncertain. You might be spending the day inside, so why not grab some sick beef jerky and watch some sick football as they'll try to live up to yesterday in the World Cup. Right now, Portugal is in action. No pressure for Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, the conversation of greatest players in the world yesterday all showed up big time for their squads. Mbappe, 2 goals. Not too bad. Then you've got Holland with the Norwegians, sick unis, 2 goals. And then how about Messi, the one he's probably compared to the most? Little hat trick as Argentina beats Algeria 3-0. Not too shabby. When Messi's got the ball in that left foot from just outside the 18, this guy's almost automatic. It was a fun day of footy yesterday. And then if you stayed up really late, 10 o'clock, you got Austria taking down Jordan 3-1. Right now, Congo, DR, and Portugal. From Houston, Texas, where the Dukes Texans call home. NRG Stadium. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, and Josh Fenwick with you here. 1-833-401-1440 is the text line if you want to get in on the chat, or each of our names at sports1440.ca. Brandon, good morning. A lot of red in the crowd. Like, what do you guys call it? Battle red for the Texans?
Yeah, battle red.
Kind of looks like it's protruding into this one.
I like the turnout for the Portuguese. Very impressive. And honestly, it kind of blows me away every game, and this goes back to prior World Cups, and really regardless of where the tournament is held, what times the games are at, etc., the way people flock and spend whatever money it costs to make their way to these games and cheer on their national teams is really, really staggering, and it blows me away every time. And I get it. There's lots of, I'm sure, people in America of Portuguese descent or lineage that, listen, the Americans aren't playing, or maybe they don't even care. They're like, well, America's not going to win it. They looked pretty good in their opener. But besides the point, they'll say, I'd rather root for Portugal. That's the team my family's been cheering for as long as they've been around. And they flock out. They don't necessarily have the same travel limitations that actual Portuguese people do across the pond. But I digress back to the point that, yeah, the way people turn out to cheer on their national teams at the World Cup is really, really impressive, and you kind of love to see it.
And you probably bring up a good point, like with Canada, Mexico, and the United States hosting, like North America, there is probably a lot of people of Portuguese descent that it's a little bit easier. I don't know how many, pick any country, have a lot of people living in Qatar. So that might have been a little bit more difficult. But hey, if you are someone who travels to all these events, you got 4 years to save up. You know where it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You book it as soon as you can. And yeah, the turnout's been great. One of my favorite trends on social media, Duke, has been the Europeans coming to our countries and being taken blown away. Like the American ones are the funniest because it's like, look at this barbecue. This is crazy.
They go to 7-Eleven and see what a big gulp is for the first time. And they're like, I'm supposed to put something I consume. Like I drink stuff out of this. This is the size of a garbage can.
All of this. And then there's a Scottish guy who's gone kind of viral with going to Mexico and all the food he's had there. So that part of it is really cool. It's been neat to see how that's been happening. The event so far has been great. And I know we hear it kind of every year leading up to it. I heard a lot of people online, oh, what's the turnout going to be, in the States with the political climate? It's fine. Everybody still wants to go represent their country. And it looks great. The NFL stadiums have translated into perfect venues for the World Cup. They really do look great. Today on the show, of course, we can talk about that. I'm sure we'll get some discussion when it comes to head coaches in the NHL. There's trade talk because those are always flowing into it, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or listening to us in our many, many ways that you can do so. Lots we can look at, whatever you guys want to talk about. That's kind of how we let things roll here on Fantasy Frenzy. I guess the big news of the day, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Duke, finding their next head coach. And honestly, kind of a bit of a surprise. Obviously we're not in Toronto and we don't have the discussion all the time. But Jim Miller brought in, formerly of the LA Kings. Oilers, I think, would be very familiar with Hiller and what he's done with the Kings because they just kept always losing to Edmonton Oilers. He was with the Leafs from 2015 to 2019 under the head coach Mike Babcock, and obviously did enough to get a job with the Kings, and now he returns. The 41st head coach in Maple Leafs history. Portugal has made it 1-0. Not Ronaldo, though.
Well, of course not. Ronaldo doesn't have it.
Not anymore.
He's not Messi.
He's
not Mbappe. And he's certainly not my new choice for the future GOAT, Haaland.
6'5", man.
Just a beast.
He's an absolute animal.
Pure Scandinavian.
He's a Viking.
Yeah. And I actually really have appreciated, I've seen it across socials and whatnot, how the Norway team is really leaning into the Viking kind of theme. It's made for some great visuals, some great outfits from the fans and people rooting them on, of course. And then when you've got one of the best players in the tournament for your club, they were kind of my dark horse pick to maybe make an unexpected run in the tournament based exclusively and only off my knowledge of Erling Haaland. And that's
roll with it. Paul Almeida, if you're listening, we're just joking about Ronaldo, but I'm a Messi guy. You know that. It is one of the nice things about this tournament, Duke, with the expansion, is that these guys get into the tournament. Like maybe Norway doesn't make it. They hadn't made it since 1998. So they were 28 years away from the event. Before that, they made it in 94 and 1938. So they had a long hiatus from the event. Take Egypt, Mo Salah.
Yeah, Mo Salah.
Formerly of Liverpool.
Oh, he's not with Liverpool anymore?
He's moving away. I don't know where he's going.
Oh, like he hasn't left. Well, like he's leaving, but hasn't played for a new team.
Hasn't played for a new team yet.
Okay.
No. I'm worried.
They've got some fun songs for him, don't they, at Liverpool?
Yeah. They
running down the wing.
They've got fun songs for everyone.
Good point.
They really do it right there. But this event expanded on it. The traditionalists might not love it per se, but like I said, maybe Norway doesn't get in without the expansion or some of these other countries. It's cool. Rather than hate it, I'm just going to embrace it and see what comes next. But anyways, that kind of got us off on a little bit of a run there. Maple Leafs hiring Jim Hiller. I don't know if you had heard that name, Popular Duke, but what were your thoughts when you saw that?
Surprise, for sure. I saw Friedman's tweet basically right before we started the show this morning at 7:00. And I said to Kevin, like, it's official. It's not even according to reports with Friedman. It's just Jim Hiller is the new coach of the Maple Leafs, and then the team itself putting a post out very shortly thereafter. And I was surprised because, as you touched on there, this was not one of the names we heard scuttling around with this extensive list of candidates that the Maple Leafs explored. We heard Bruce Cassidy. We heard Joe Pavelski. We heard plenty of other names. Jim Hiller is not one that I was aware they were exploring. And just like based off his history, and it's as a head coach exclusively with the LA Kings at the NHL level, we know what kind of style the Kings played, right? They trapped it up. They tried to slow the game down. And it kind of worked for a little bit against the Oilers in the most recent playoff meeting before a bad challenge, some bad choices by players in moments of critical areas cost them games and then in turn the series. Oh, how different things could have been. But, guys like Karius who have known Jim Hiller going back to playing junior hockey together. We had Dave Pagnotta on the Carey show this morning discussing his kind of history. Like, that's not really his style. That's more so a point of continuity with what made the Kings successful with the personnel they had. So all this to say that when I see the Maple Leafs go that type of route with a guy that was playing a trap system, and it made me scratch my head even more, get a little bit more information and say, don't expect to see Jim Hiller running a 1-3-1 in Toronto. I kind of say, all right, I'm open to giving this a chance, but this little bit of period of uncertainty that the Maple Leafs are in, what kind of team are they going to be next year? Are they, after picking first overall, going to commit to a year of building and progression, or are they this summer after picking first overall just chips back in and say, no, we have Austin Matthews, we have William Nylander, we want to be back in the playoffs and back to chasing a Stanley Cup immediately? I don't know the answer to that question, and I'm not even sure maybe they do necessarily. The biggest surprise just came from the fact that this was not a name that had been floating around to my best knowledge.
I mean, hey, good on the Maple Leafs for keeping it quiet. To not have it come out until it's an official announcement, that's pretty impressive. He will speak to the media in about 50 minutes' time for those of you who might be interested. 1-833-401-1448. This one came in kind of at the end of your guys' show. Hey, boys, any FIFA talk? Off to Vancouver tomorrow for the game. Day trip, bouncing off the walls, excited. Yeah, I know a few people that have made the trip out there to Vancouver for this one. I would be so fired up, Duke. Like, you get on the streets, you start feeling the music, the atmosphere, maybe with a couple Canadians in honor of the game. You're going to be feeling good, and it's going to be quite the environment tomorrow when Canada, Qatar, whatever you want to call them. We don't mean any offense. I just know whatever I say, I'm going to get told I'm wrong. It's going to be an awesome event, a great environment, and good news for the Canadian health-wise. Like, other than Alphonso Davies, feels like they're going to be at full strength. So, got to capitalize on their opportunities. I know that sounds so basic, and I said that going into the first game, but like, how many chances did they have where you're just seeing garbage efforts? Like, hit it hard, hit it fast, heck, keep it low. But you got to find a way to bury your opportunities quickly, because the further we get away from that first loss to Bosnia and Herzegovina, the more disappointed I am in it. It was good at the time because they were down and they got back into it to even things up. But that game, they should not have lost. There is no way they should have lost that game. They had all the pressure. So hopefully they can finish their chances and take care of business. Blair says that the Portuguese breakfast is the best he's ever had. But I think he might be doing something tongue-in-cheek there, because when my research, Blair tells me that it's a freshly baked bread, toasted sandwiches, and sweet pastries, perfectly paired with strong local coffee, rather than the heavy cooked items. So
what's that? Well, what's the tongue-in-cheek thing? Does that not sound good to you?
That sounds good, but I think he might be talking about like the Urban Dictionary definition.
Oh,
that's my guess.
That's not a term I'm familiar with. Well, legitimately,
I had to look it up because Blair usually naps during this hour.
No, Blair is a faker. He tries to put it off like he's too cool to listen to Fantasy Frenzy, but yet he's still texting in all the time. So he's obviously listening. He's a diehard. He's committed, and we appreciate it.
Did I say Canada?
Even if he's not willing to admit it.
Well, hey, that's how it's going to be sometimes. If I said Canada lost, I didn't mean to, nor side Jason.
But they were on the brink of losing.
Yeah.
Because they trailed in the game, and I'm with you, Connor, where you look at, even as someone who doesn't really know that much about the game and the finer points, they kind of dominated for the most part. And you look at besides the way they were defending some of those corner kicks and obviously the goal, the possession metrics were all in their favor, the shots on goal, everything. But then the bigger thing from the discrepancy between shot attempts and shot on goal, like they had a couple really good looks that you got to finish.
Yeah.
When you get put in that situation, we know soccer is a low scoring event despite what that Germany game the other day might tell us with a 7 spot on the board over Curacao. Like, when you get looks, you have to catch them in. And if you don't, you're going to have a hard time finding success, especially against opponents that are, in Canada's case, usually at worst, the kind of same talent tier as you for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And now Qatar, maybe one of the few teams that would actually kind of come in at that tier below them of overall talent pool.
Yeah, but I mean, Drew the Swiss.
Well, yeah.
So
it creates just a huge question mark around the entire group now moving forward.
they're calling it the group of life.
Yeah, I like that.
I think is great. The group of death, typically the tougher one, the group of life, the Canadian group there. Yeah, then, you mentioned the box score there. It was interesting because possession was 60-40. That's great. The pass accuracy per Google has that at 78%, but I still thought it was just a little behind, just a little sloppy. And they clean that up. They'll get their chances. 13 shots, 3 on target. Not enough. 9 corners, but 4 of them, did they try that dumb little play on the ground? Like, to me, you do that, all of a sudden the back line for the opponent can push their way up. Like, I want to get that ball in quickly and try to get ahead on it, at least have it drop down and do something for you. Canada ties 1-1. Did I say they were losing? Maybe I said it wrong. I knew they tied, obviously. This game against Qatar. Now, this is a team, when you scroll at the rankings, like Canada right now is sitting 32. The team they beat in the friendly, Uzbekistan, is 50. 1 spot above them would be Qatar. So a team, if you look at the rankings and you buy into that they should beat. That being said, Bosnia and Herzegovina is 63rd in the FIFA World Rankings. So they
came in very confident.
They did, and played really good getting in. Obviously beat Italy to jump in there. The Avro Arrow says, with the expanded World Cup format, there is no really group of death, in my opinion.
Certainly not to how it used to be with the smaller field, right? It's just, naturally, it's more condensed. So unless there's a really weird situation with the draw, it's unlikely that you're going to get that many teams grouped together. And it would almost take like a good team. And correct me if I'm wrong, Connor, the way they do the pool draw, like it's supposed to keep them balanced intentionally. The way that like all the top 10 teams are in this bucket, that by definition, they can't be in the same pool as a result.
Yeah, it's supposed to work out that way.
So unless there's a really good team that tumbles down the rankings all of a sudden because of recent play or the previous result at the World, whatever, but they're still a good club, the chances of there being 2 or obviously 3 real powerhouses in the same group is essentially non-existent.
I mean, Group F is pretty good with Sweden, Japan, Netherlands. Tunisia might be.
But are any of those 3 teams going to win the tournament?
No, probably not. I mean, I don't think that would happen. Norway, France, Senegal, I think could be interesting. Now, Norway looked really good yesterday. Argentina, Austria, Jordan, Algeria. Like, Argentina should run right through that group. Today's Portugal, Colombia, Uzbekistan, Congo. The Group L's not bad either, though, when you have Croatia and England. Ghana,
bitter
Panama.
rivals.
Oh, it's going to get heated. England kicks it off today, Duke. It's coming home.
Against Croatia, right?
Is it Croatia? I think so.
I should know that. I read it in an update.
I think you're right. My computer's super slow. I have it here. Yeah, England, Croatia at 2, Panama, Ghana at 5, and then Uzbekistan, Colombia, 8 o'clock from Mexico City. England and Croatia from Jerry's World.
Fun.
Perfect. Panama, Ghana is going to be at BMO in Toronto. Hey, if you want to go to England and Croatia, tickets as low as $1,500. So get on that. The Toronto game, $543. Easy peasy. Kyle says Vegas has hired Ryan Craig. Is that official, Duke? I don't know if you've seen that. I mean, that's, I think, without being official, I'd agree it's going to happen. Guy who they've had in their AHL system, keeping it in-house. But I haven't seen it officially. But I'm going to trust you. And think that it is going to happen. I will take a break.
Yeah, I'm seeing it via TSN.
TSN? There you go. Do you like the hire?
I don't know a ton about him, but if you're talking about Vegas and this transition where if you weren't interested in bringing Tortorella back it kind of seems like you want a fresh face, like a new direction with the same core group of players you've assembled here. So it makes sense. And I think teams really view it an internal promotion as being the best form of continuity, because at least then he would have familiarity with some of the guys that maybe graduated out of Henderson, because he's been with the team the past couple of years. So some of the most recent players coming up, and then maybe a few more moving forward, that there's that familiarity with what he does, how he coaches, the communication, etc. So it makes sense. But I admittedly don't know a ton about him as a coach. I think Henderson's been pretty competitive since joining the American Hockey League.
So, yeah, just looking at him here, he was a Vegas assistant their inaugural season, 17-18.
Okay.
Spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years there. And then the last 3 years with the Henderson Silver Knights as their head coach. First 2 years out of the playoffs, but this year kind of turned it around, 39-21. And that's the record there for that 12
Well, then all of a sudden, with that information, it makes even more sense when you talk about, like, a lot of familiarity with not just the organization, but a good chunk of these players too. Even with Vegas's seemingly quick turnaround on bodies in the organization sometimes, that even if he's been in Henderson for 3 seasons, it's not quite the same club last time he was on the bench for the Golden Knights.
100%. But I like that, like having a guy, he's in the system, you keep him there and say, hey,
go get some head coach experience.
Yeah, exactly. Run a bench, see what it's like to be a head coach. And then obviously you'll be a big candidate. And the organization, at this point, it's hard to question anything they do with all the success that they've had. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more of your texts. 1-833-401-1440. It is Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas, just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel. And there's only one MVP.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal's only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay you to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
From the first pitch to the final out. Catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved heavy truck auction is this Thursday at 9 a.m. Featuring tandem, triaxle, and single-axle trucks, including tractors, decks, dumps, man lifts, vacs, pickers, and service trucks. Info at maauctions.com.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved industrial auction is this Friday at 9 a.m. Featuring a large selection of 2020 to 2014 Caterpillar, John Deere, and Volvo articulated dump trucks. Info at maauctions.com.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:25. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online, willhawkbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc. Go pay him a visit. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440. You can watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM, Facebook, X, Instagram, or Twitch. And of course, stream us, listen to us on the AM dial. That's the way I recommend it. Because then tonight, once the Jays get into action and the Jason Gregor show ends, we'll join the game in progress. Blue Jays and Red Sox once again. 4:45 is the first pitch in that one. Bucket list stadium, Fenway, for sure. I think it'd be a great spot to go check out. And Jays hit back-to-back jacks last night. Hey, Duke?
The unstoppable Davis Schneider.
The guy I love to rip on.
The guy everyone loves to rip on.
He just doesn't have aura.
No, see, you've said that to me before, and I really couldn't disagree more.
How?
The mustache, the like nonchalant attitude, he's just like got this quiet confidence about him. He's got I think he's got some swagger to him. But it's not like in your face swagger. It's casual, which to me is aura, as the kids say.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's Rizmaxing all over the place.
I tell you, he's not mogging.
No, he's mogging.
He stands beside like Vlad.
I don't think he's good enough looking to mog, and that's with all due respect. Like, he's not Bryce Harper.
No, he's not. Like, when you used to see he and Bo Bichette stand beside each other, it was just complete opposites. And the Jays for a while, like when Bo was out of the lineup, there was no swag. You'd have Varland go out there in those little flood pants, man. Oh,
his best Robbie Ray impression.
But like Rob Ray was like, hey, these are going to be tight. These aren't even tight. They're just cuffed at the bottom and they're like above his ankle.
But they're pretty tight too because they're tapered.
Yeah, just what's the point?
It's got to be unencumbered. Can't have pants dragging over his top of his cleats.
Put him up to the knee then.
That'll stop him from throwing mad smoke.
Like one day when there's a rain delay, he's going to walk across the diamond, clear across, and keep his pants dry.
That's ideal.
Then he'll be like Millhouse. And then I'll give him credit. But until that day,
flood pants.
Everything's coming up Millhouse. Until that day. No. But anyways, hey, if they're going to hit back-to-back jacks, all of a sudden, a little more.
Davis Schneider just loves playing at Fenway.
A little more
That's where he made his debut, hit a home run in that game, had a great series. That's a couple summers ago. I remember it, not super vividly, but specifically because it is when I was working for CFCW, I think, and I was in the company truck on my way somewhere and listening to the game on the radio.
The mustache reeks of aura.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, reeks
it's a
of something.
Nice stash. You're just acting jealous. You don't have the confidence to grow that stash.
No,
Connor,
I don't.
Show up tomorrow with your beard shaved into just Davis Schneider's mustache, and I will grant you your point that the mustache does not automatically grant aura. Because you'll be the living embodiment of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, come on. Like, look at just Google him and tell me he has aura.
I like Davis Schneider.
You like his glasses too?
Yeah, the rec specs.
Just get contacts.
No, man. Goggles are the way to go.
Well, even you have great vision, so I don't even need to tell you to wear it.
Wrong. I'm blind.
So you show up.
I should have glasses.
You show up with a mustache and glasses tomorrow, and I'll tell you how your aura is.
I'll show up with one of those joke ones where it's the mustache and the glasses connected together.
Essentially his look.
Like Mr. Potato Head.
I hope nothing but the best for him, though. That being said.
Well, hey, a little much-needed offensive boost to this Jays team that continues to kind of scuffle along in that department. And Dylan Cease nails again. It's tonight a little bit of a different story. You go from Dylan Cease, who's been your ace all year, to now Max Scherzer, who has been struggling mightily to get any sort of length. Obviously, second start back from his stint on the injured list. You got to hope you can get a little bit more than 3 innings out of Max Scherzer tonight. Now, it's a good spot because the Red Sox lineup is kind of almost equally, and I'd actually to check the numbers to be specific, but similarly, I should say, inept at to the Jays when it comes to, runners in scoring position and cashing in opportunities.
Red Sox 29-41 on the season. Jays right now sitting 35-38. So a couple more wins would be good. They're currently 10 games back, of the Yankees. This segment is for elksnation.ca, of course. You got the 2-weekly podcast with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, but also articles and more. Go check them out, elksnation.ca, and I think even a chance to win some tickets. Now, this text came in from John. Hey, Cons, the aura of Fenway is something else, a definite must-see. Even if you're not a Red Sox fan, it feels like you're back in the 1930s when you're underneath the bleachers and no bad vantage points in the upper bowl stands. See, like, I think a couple games there, like under the bleachers at one point, and then if you could get to the top of the monster, I'm sure those tickets aren't easy to get, but that would be an absolute awesome night to sit up there and watch some baseball. Duke's heading out to his first Major League Baseball, first Blue Jays game. You went to a Rockies game, right?
Yeah.
First Jays game. You're going to do a couple, shuffle around the
Yeah,
dome.
sitting in a few different spots, hoping to check out as much of the ballpark as possible over a few days.
It's going to be a good time. I'm jealous.
I wait with bated breath, Connor. I'll tell you that much. And it's still a long ways away.
Blair texted in. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has no extra base power this year. He should change his name to Vladimir Guerrero Single. Everyone says it's no, not everyone. Some people say it's coming. He's a streaky hitter. It'll happen eventually. And I have no doubt that he'll go on a bit of a heater in like mid-August or something. But man, you need it. It's extended. And if he can turn it around, it'd be big time, but we still wait for it. Oh, Walter Googled. AI told him that, yes, David Schneider unquestionably has aura. His undeniable every guy appeal, defined by his signature mustache, legendary home runs, and vibrant clubhouse energy, has made him a massive fan favorite. Teammates themselves openly recognize his unique magnetic persona. Some of his aura is anchored by his highly specific traits. His stash and specs, instant legend, pure vibes.
I love, and part of this is the reason why I hate AI for large part, is that people just treat it like it's the word of God. Like how can AI tell me this information? This is just based off of like what people have tweeted about him. Right? Because it just pulls every reference of David Schneider from the internet, and it all talks about how his teammates love him, and this is all true. But to treat this as a matter of fact is like unquestionably has aura. That's still just an opinion.
He might have but
this isn't a matter of like, did David Schneider hit a home run last night? Yes. That's a matter of fact. If a player has aura or something is not, and it's weird how this is termed because I was on this side of the argument. But the fact that people just like type something into Google or Chat GPT or whatever, and then treat that as unquestioned, bothers the hell out of me.
He's got Riz, but does he have Piz?
How do you know? Yeah, well, that's something that we tried to coin. It didn't quite get the legs, but we can take another run at it maybe this summer.
Guy who's got
hit a rhythm and pism.
The guy who's got charisma right now is Declan Kruger, rolling in all white. I mean, spaghetti for lunch, Deck. You better watch out. Get some sauce on you. He also passed me the liner for the Pasanka Festival. Pasanka, right? Pasanka. Sorry, my Ukrainian family. You can enjoy Ukrainian food, grandstand shows, 2 evening Zabavas?
Yeah.
Historical demos and display, and much more. That's July 3rd to 5th. Get all the information at sports1440.com. Admission is free, but you can get tickets for the grandstand shows and Zabavas as well.
Really fun.
So, Duke, I have the entire schedule. Is there anything you'd like to know about this event?
When is it?
The Sanka Festival? Oh, July 3rd to 5th.
Okay. Celebrate American Independence Year 250 by instead celebrating Ukrainian heritage. That's my recommendation. No need to watch the hot dog contest.
Oh, it's at Vegreville Exhibition Grounds.
Great spot. I've been.
There's a petting zoo.
Okay.
Music tent. Beer tent gets going pretty early. 11 a.m. So if you're looking for something to do, sounds awesome. Bud Baker says, not sure if you guys can receive picks. We can. I'm thinking about making this dynasty roster or what moves I should make. I like to wheel and deal, but also think I could have a good roster for years. We got the screenshots here. So we got Jalen Hurts, Achane, Quinshawn Judkins, Jackson Smith, Jacob, Brian Thomas, and Waddle, Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison, and then CJ Stroud. It's a good looking team. I remain hopeful that Brian Thomas can bounce back with the Jags. Like, his rookie year was phenomenal. Thought he'd have a really good year last year. Did not happen. I like Jalen Waddle too. But, I mean, we really are banking on Bo Nix to find that deep ball accuracy. If he can get that going, Waddle could be dynamic in that offense, I think. But you just got to get the ball in his hands. Your bench has Malik Willis, Chris Rodriguez, Blake Corum, Trey Benson. I would move on from Benson probably. Spears, the Tennessee, Keon Coleman, Wan'Dale Robinson, AJ Barner, and then the taxi squad. Higgins, Ferguson, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter. Even Travis Hunter at this point. I mean, taxi squad, sure, hang on to him. That makes sense. You got a pretty good team here, though. Starting roster for sure. I might, Duke, and I don't know if you would do this. I might dangle Achane and Brian Thomas just to see if anybody wants to bite on them. I think Achane, he's going to get such a good workload. He's going to take a lot of bumps, though, I think. No doubt he'll have good games, but if you can find an upgrade there, I might look at it. Other than that, though, pretty dang good team. Jalen Hurts obviously is going to get his tush-push touchdowns and throw a couple on the way. No more A.J. Brown, but they draft Lemon out of USC. I think you got a good team there, bud. Slurpy Sean says, I have dissected Guerrero's swing. All he needs is steroids. In a different era. Would have been all right. Justin says, hearing Vegas has now allowed teams to start talking to Cassidy. I believe the Oilers are the only team looking for a coach now.
That is correct.
Well, yeah. It's funny, hey, how every other team just hired coaches and no news or anything. It was like, oh, Jim Hiller? Sure. I'm promote a guy from the AHL? Absolutely. You want Lavalette? Yeah, no worries. But the Oilers going for a guy that needs permission. They don't get it. And then the guy who essentially needs to be reinstated has to go through a bit of a review. Not smooth, but hey, if that's the guy they want and that's the guy they get, then what does it matter? As long as you get him in the building. We'll take a break here when we get back. More text. It's 1-833-401-1440 Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Tee up at the 2026 Golf-a-thon presented by Popeye Supplements June 19th at Rundle Park, supporting the University Hospital Foundation. Golf all day long for $250, including a cart and food. GoTrackSocialClub.com.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit FountainTire.com today.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at Cantork.com.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Tired of the rough ride? Alberta used to be a leader in highway planning and construction, but years of neglect and cuts to maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor issues become major reconstruction. We need action and a reliable capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Alberta, we're wild and tough and beautiful. We agree that good enough isn't good enough. And though everything that matters starts with a home and a family. At Lux, our family has been handcrafting windows and doors for this incredible place for over half a century. There's no place we'd rather be. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and this is the time of the year most RV stores wish their lot was full. At the new RV stores, product is trickling in, mostly just for taking orders. But having an RV on order doesn't mean much when the weather's great for camping today.
No Bull has hundreds of quality used RVs on the lot now. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Walk into No Bull RV today, and you could be in the great outdoors next weekend. No waiting, no hoping it'll be here by summer, just the perfect used trailer, motorhome, fifth wheel, or toy hauler that you need.
And every RV at No Bull is one of a kind.
Every family is one of a kind too, Bob. Think we can't find the perfect one for you? Take a look around. At No Bull, you'll save thousands compared to the cost of a new RV. You can build your summer plan on hope, or you can know for sure. And ask about our Camp Ready service plan when you're here to make this the best summer yet.
And that's No Bull. NoBullRV.ca.
Breaking down the co-captain, the assistant to the co-captain, the water boy, and the quarterback all in one play. Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Josh Fenwick, and Declan Kruger sliding in to wrap up the show today as the Duke had to take off a little bit early. Deck, good morning. How are you doing today?
Was up 1-0 when I walked in here, and I figured it was Ronaldo stealing a goal, but it wasn't. João Neves. So yeah.
I mean, I said it at the start of the show, like, this is your opportunity. All the stars of the World Cup yesterday, the biggest names showed up, at least 2 goals. Waiting on Ronaldo.
Now that has to be one of the top everyone showed up and did their job moments or days in sports, right? Like, was there a day where Aaron Judge and Shohei and Trout all went yard 2 or 3 times? I guess in the NFL, it's a little bit different because, like, you get, Sunday is game day. So that's kind of the outlier. But I'm trying to think of another day in sports recently, or even, semi-recently, where it was like every elite top level player showed out the way those guys did.
It'd be tough. I mean, Mbappe had the 2 goals. Holland with 2, and then Lionel Messi last night, 3 goals against Algeria. It was pretty crazy. I mean, to have them all play on that day in an event like this, maybe if you went back to like the Olympics and McDavid had 3 goals, and then Matthew Tkachuk had a couple, and whoever you want to take from each of the national teams. But the way those guys did, it was pretty outstanding. And you had the late game, which is nice. So did you stay up and watch the 10 p.m. game?
The Austria-Jordan game, I did stay up.
Nice goal from Austria to get things going, hey?
Yeah, I actually missed the first goal. Because you know what's crazy? I saw this tweet that was like, watching the World Cup is like babysitting. The moment you look away, something happens. And I kept replaying that tweet in my mind. And that is exactly what happened with Austria's first goal. I was like looking down at my phone or something, look up, and I see Austria celebrating. So tough one for me, but great game.
It was. It really was. Coming up next here on Sports 1440, we do have the lowdown with Low Tide. It'll be Declan Kruger staying still, as with Josh Fenwick Wednesday. So Kevin McCurdy hopping on the program, Deck.
Kevin McCurdy's going to be by at 1 o'clock. Dennis King as well is going to be by at 12:40. Seems like it is a interview people are really excited about. Can't wait to hear that. Stanley Cup champion Dennis King, if you will.
I believe one of the original members of the Oilogosphere back in the day. Now doing great things with the Hurricanes.
Do you think Lotai's just kicking himself? He's not a GM right now. He's like, it could have been me.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, he got to come in here and work with you. So there are perks to it.
Way worse. There's nothing good about that. I just complain the whole day.
Keeps life interesting. Then from 2 to 6, we got the Gregor Show. Rupper will be by to recap the Stanley Cup final look ahead to free agency. Chris Peters from Flow Hockey will join us as the draft approaches ever so quickly. Just 10 days away. We've also got Andy Petrillo from One Soccer, CBC Sports, and Amazon Prime. She'll join us. We'll talk some World Cup. Also, the Hiller hiring in Toronto. Struddy, Speck, Cam Tate. Should be a great show today, starting at 2 o'clock. And then if you're listening on the AM feed, you got Blue Jays, Red Sox baseball joined in progress. If you're streaming, Fox Sports Radio. We'll go back into the text line here. Mark had said, good morning, guys. Do you think the Oilers will ever adopt the same approach as some teams by using a minor league affiliate to develop a future coach and or general manager? Mark, well, Jay Woodcroft was developed. He went down there. He was Tom McClellan's assistant and then went down to coach the Condors and then was promoted. So they have done it in the past. The GM, maybe. I think, maybe, who knows? Maybe the next hire they look to a GM from in the system, but I think they've done it before. Will they do it again? We'll see. Right now, you need an established head coach. I think someone who's won or has a track record of winning. So I don't think it'd be this time, but you never know. And I like the idea. And I think it's a really cool idea, especially for a guy who has experience as an assistant coach in the NHL. You go down to the AHL and, if it's like the Vegas situation, you stay with that organization. They're keeping an eye on you. And when they deem you ready, you call back up. You've got the experience of running the bench and, it's kind of the perfect way to do it. Scott says, zero chance to get Cassidy, but someone else needs to be beside Babcock. Well, we'll see who it is. He's got his guys if it does happen. Salsa texting into 1-833-401-1440. Will Kyler Murray get any love from you guys as a quarterback late round? Remember, he's thrown to Jefferson, Hawkinson, Addison. Yeah, absolutely. For me, I mean, we've seen quarterbacks go into that system with the Minnesota Vikings and find their game. I would have no issue with that, assuming he beats out 9. I like Kyler Murray. Then you just factor in what he can do with his feet. There might be some bad that come along with it, but I don't know about you, Declan. I thought that Kyler Murray to the Minnesota Vikings was a great fit. Now, is he the upper echelon of quarterbacks? Maybe not, but you had him as a backup quarterback. I don't hate it potentially with that cast around him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm a little out on Kyler Murray. Like, I think, granted, Minnesota is kind of where quarterbacks go to have, some degree of revival, or at least it's the stop they go before they go to where they have the revival. And Jay Jetta's obviously any quarterback in the league would want to be throwing to him. I just feel like we've seen a lot of Kyler Murray, man. And you can chalk it up to offensive system, you can chalk it up to personnel, but it seems like it was a good 6 years of a Tiger not changing his stripes. And here's the other thing. Like, are we certain he's going to start over JJ, or 9, as he likes to be referred to? Like, are we?
I don't think so.
Right? So I don't know, man. I just think Kyler Murray is. I'm bullish on his skill set because I love a scrambling quarterback that can make a lot happen. But I'm a little more wary on that one.
In his last full season, he did rush for 572 yards, 5 scores. I don't mind that. Threw for a decent amount, 21 touchdowns, 3,800 yards. For wins and losses, maybe he's not your guy. He's only had 1 winning season in his career in the NFL. He's 38, 48, and 1. So he hovers around 500 every year. But I don't mind it. Like I said, he's not my top pick, but if you had a bye week and had to throw him in against a inferior defense, I don't hate it.
Dude, like the Arizona Cardinals went with Jacoby Brissett over him.
Yeah.
Like we can't just ignore that. You know what I'm saying? Now, fantasy is different than real life. I give you that. So yeah, if you got to throw him in there on a bye week, or you want him as QB2, if you're playing, in a super flex league and you throw him in that spot, I get it. I'm just buyer beware. That's all I would say.
It's fair. It is fair. Like I'm not going to recommend anyone goes with him week to week every week, but I just don't mind the option going forward. And the change of scenery I think will be good. You're right about Brissett, but I also think there might have been a bit of a fractured relationship there with the way things had gone. I also like on your initial line about him, you worked the word in little. Don't know if that was intentional or not, but it was good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're 5'7" in cleats, it's hard not to bring it up, you know? Nothing wrong with being 5'7".
He's 5'10", Duke, or Declan.
If you're listed at 5'10", you're 5'6" on your tippy toes.
5'6", $180. I love the little graphic of Shrek running around the dog course whenever he has a big run. Hey, guys, talk more about how you think Jalen Waddle will fit into the Broncos offense. I'm trying to figure out a keeper spot, and I have him as an option. Thank you. Well, I mean, the thing for me, and I would love to see Jalen Waddle play on a team that has a beast of a quarterback with a laser rocket arm, because, you know, he can run horizontal and they get the ball in his hands. He's going to make great things. We've seen that with his time at the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa being his quarterback. So far in his career, peaked in year 2. I think he can get downfield. He can get open. Can Bo Nix get the ball into his hands? Because I think that's where he's struggled at times. I go back to a couple games against the Chargers in his career where if he has a little more touch on his deep ball, the Broncos beat the Chargers easily. Like, they score a few more touchdowns in each of those games, but he just misses them. Now, Jalen Waddle has great speed. Can he run under it better than Courtland Sutton potentially? Yeah, that would make sense. But I think, you know, you go back to Sean Payton's offenses, finding that number one receiver, Marcus Colston, Slant Boy. Like, there's potential here for a really good season from Jalen Waddle. Declan, I don't know if you see otherwise. I mean, he's had 2 straight years under 1,000 yards, but I think you can also factor that into some kind of sketchy quarterback play from Tua.
Well, first of all, you show, oh my goodness, Congo just equalized it in the 45th minute in an additional time off a beautiful, beautiful header. That's crazy.
Paging Ronaldo.
First of all, you show respect to Michael Thomas, okay? He led the league in receiving yards, and he was hampered by injuries in that system. You show respect to him, sir. Second,
you're taking Slant Boy as an insult.
Listen, it's tough to run a slant route. Second, yeah, listen, I think Jalen Waddle is one of those guys who falls under the category of supremely talented, but overshadowed by another receiver on his team. Like, we see it sometimes. T. Higgins, I think, is a guy a lot of people point to, although he maybe has a little bit better, obviously with Joe Burrow. Listen, I think Jalen Waddle is going to be a tremendous option for you as a wide receiver, especially in the keeper league, like you mentioned. And the other thing is, like, him and Cortland are so different. Like, sometimes when you have 2 receivers, one overshadows the other, but they play a very similar style, and one guy's just better, so it's harder for the other to get looks, even if he is a talented guy. Like, Courtland Sutton and Jalen Waddle play a much different brand in the receiving game, which is why I think he provides even more value.
Courtland Sutton, big body, can go get it. Waddle over the top. You know, it is always interesting. You talk about the guy being overshadowed in the previous regime. Like, T. Higgins would be an interesting one if he were ever to leave the Bengals. Could he go be wide receiver 1? I remember way back in the day. Do you remember Eric Moulds and Peerless Price with your Bills? Way back in the day.
Yeah.
And Peerless Price was really good wide receiver 2, and he went to the Atlanta Falcons. Did not carry over. Like, he wasn't wide receiver 1 capability. But I don't know. Is Waddle 1 and Courtland Sutton 2? Is it 1A, 1B? Like, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's kind of close right now.
I feel like Courtland Sutton has to be 1 just because he has the rapport with Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
And Courtland Sutton's also a guy, like, you know, he's not Jay Jettas, he's not Jamar Chase, he's not Malik Nabers, he's not JSN. But, like, I think Courtland Sutton is a really underrated receiver in terms of what he can do.
He does seem to drop it in big moments. I've also saying this, I also have used him as my, like, fantasy, like, 5th receiver, throwing him in there on bye weeks and, like, had him come up big for me. Statistically speaking, he's a 3-time 1,000-yard receiver, doing it the last 2 years, barely benefiting from the extra game for sure. 1,017 last year. Has got to double-digit touchdowns just once in his career. That was 2023. He's a good player. He's a really good player, I think, and a guy you can rely on. And I mean, I think he's big and physical enough to beat the press coverage and take on double teams. Now we fall on Sean Payton, and how does he scheme things up and make it work? Long answer. I do think that he can get the job done. As Declan Kruger mentioned there previously, we do have a tie game down in Houston, Congo and Portugal after, was it in the 5th minute of extra time, Deck?
It was.
Wow. That's big time for Congo.
Ronaldo, you're on the clock.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all these other guys have elevated their game. He's got to have his moment here. We'll see if it happens. And it's setting up for it. Later on today, England, Croatia from Jerry's World down in Arlington, Texas. That gets going at 2 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, you've got Ghana and Panama out in the 6, BMO Field in Toronto. And then at 8 o'clock tonight from Mexico City, Colombia, Uzbekistan. That should be an interesting one for sure. We saw Uzbekistan in Edmonton just 16 days ago. They'll take on Colombia. Up next for Canada comes tomorrow. And we'll have lots of discussion about that coming up on the Gregor Show, and then probably all day tomorrow before they get going, 4 o'clock from Vancouver. That music means that we're done. Time for the 23-hour break. Up next, Slow Down Flow Tide, followed by the Gregor Show. Then, if you're streaming, Fox Sports Radio. If you're listening on the AM dial, Blue Jays and Red Sox. For Declan and Josh, I'm Connor Halley. Thank you guys for joining us today. Before we get to Low Tide, let's get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Cattail Crossing. You can do Glow Night Golf every second Friday with your next chance on Friday, June 19th. Just a couple days away. 30 minutes after sunset, $65 a person, includes 9 holes, 1 glow ball, and a $5 voucher to Out of Bounds. Book at cattailcrossing.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Couple of new bench bosses in the NHL as the Golden Knights have tabbed Ryan Craig as their new head coach, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have named ex-LA Kings coach Jim Hiller as their new bench boss. Right now, Portugal and the Democratic Republic of Congo tied 1-1 at halftime of their World Cup match that kicked off today. England and Croatia will be up next at 2, Ghana and Panama at 5, and the late game will see Uzbekistan and Colombia at 8. Games right now in the MLB delayed in the bottom of the second sees the Giants lead the Braves 3-2. The Mets up over the Reds 5-1. Royals lead the Nats 4-0 in the bottom of the third, and already 9 runs in just the bottom of the second between the Marlins and Phillies. The Marlins leading 6-3. Blue Jays will be in action out in Boston at 4:45. Scherzer on the bump for the Jays. And today we will also see the Riverhawks in action as they take on Wenatchee at 7:35.